Hello, this is an update of a video that I made over a year ago. For those of you that don't know, I made a video called The Enforcer Problem where I talked about the issues with the Enforcer, but when Blue Moon dropped, of course they made some changes, or rather fixes, to the Enforcer. So why did I take so long to talk about it? Well, it's because I have an idea for a change that I think will give it a good use. Let's be honest, a big update is incoming. Anytime now.
Any second now.
Anyway, some changes to the Enforcer is on my wish list for a future update. But the biggest want on my wish list is definitely big changes to the TF2's in-game comp system. I'm very excited to see if they're going to do any changes to it and maybe flush it out, because I can't wait to grind that shit. When I thought of this change, I was not going to try to make it a direct upgrade or even a decent side grade, because that would require a whole rework for the weapon. But if Valve does want to keep this design, then there is a few things I think they can add to expand this design and give it a huge realm of possibilities. And what exactly are those changes? Well, let's talk about it. When it comes to class-based shooters, there is a counter system designed within the game to account for balance, and TF2 is no different, as I've talked about this before. But again, like I said in that video, TF2 has evolved from countering other classes to countering classes with loadouts, or straight up just countering other loadouts, such as the Spicicle or the Razorback. Now, back to our main topic of the Enforcer. This gun counters a lot of loadouts, so that must mean it's really good, right? Right? Well, in this case, it's a wasted potential, as the classes it counters you really don't want to get in a head-to-head fight with. Because come on, man, what are you gonna do? Like, Spy's got like 125 health, you got Soldier got 200 health, you got a fucking rocket launcher, you got a tiny little pea shooter. What, you gonna do something with that? What are you gonna do? But there is one class most Spies have gunfights with, and that class has been their mortal enemy since the dawn of time. Yes, the engineer. Thought I was gonna say sniper, huh? Well, you're wrong, because most of the time a fight with the sniper against Spy is like a quick scope, maybe bushwhack a Girardi you, and I don't know, run away. But as you all know, the shotgun, specifically the stock, really fucking hurts. So you don't have that much time to destroy a nest. Unless, of course, you kill the engineer. But when you do, you have a whole team breathing down your neck. And trust me, they're not even gonna give you the chance to escape. So when it comes to wanting to catch a case of the old beat feet, tell them to kick rocks, pound sand, and slap bricks and get the fuck out of there, there's something halting your speed. A little thing called sapper armor. When you sap a sentry, it adds a 33% damage resistance to that sentry. That only affects the Spy that sapped it. That means you do less damage to a sentry while sapping. Now that you've got a rundown, we can talk about how some changes can add, while yes, very niche use, it still leads to the weapon being used. And I don't know about you, but a building buster weapon that allows me to destroy the shit and get the fuck out of there as fast as I can sounds like a motherfucking dream. Now, I ran some tests on how fast it takes to destroy a sentry with the Enforcer, with and without sapper armor. Let's take out that useless disguise damage bonus and instead make it a bonus damage to buildings. Because let's be honest, one shot that does a max of 12 extra damage up close in a fight is borderline useless. I mean it could be used as an executor, but come on, the Ambassador is just still better. Like, even after its nerfs in Jungle Inferno, 102 damage to maybe like, I don't know, 90 to like 85 damage to someone running away is still more than 72. It's just math. Anyway, so what I was saying is, it would allow the 40 damage that you do to a sentry to increase to 48, which is nothing to scoff at. That's a lot of damage. 8 damage might not seem that much. That's a lot of fucking damage. That's 2 4s. It's a lot of damage. Wait. Hold on a minute, okay? I think your jets might be running low or something. Don't you mean 60 damage? What are you, a maroon? No, I meant 40 because you do 40 damage to a sentry when you use the Spy's revolver. The sentry doesn't take the flat 60 that a normal revolver would do to, let's say, a player. Anyway, I think giving the 20% damage increase against buildings would be a wonderful addition to compensate for the ever so slightly change in time to down a sentry. So let's say you put 2 bullets in it. along with the sapper. 2 shots, that's going to be 1.39 seconds to get those 2 shots out, and the 2 shots out along with the 1 second 25 damage from the sapper, you're looking at about 121 damage right there. That's a lot of damage in 1 second. Now, the engineer can remove his sapper in 1.6 seconds. That's, again, the attack interval between the stock wrench. But again, if the engineer has his full attention on the sentry, you can apply it again where he will not have enough time to save it on the second sapper plant. This will immediately force the engineer to attack you, which we all know that good engineers do. If the engineer attacks the spy immediately with the stock shotgun, we also got to take into account that the stock shotgun actually has a faster attack interval than the enforcer. The enforcer is 0.69 seconds versus the shotgun's 0.625 seconds. Meaning that if you only put those 2 shots in along with the sapper, he will have enough time to kill you and remove said sapper. That being, of course, if he is right next to his nest. But again, human error can fuck with these numbers because he could be at a slight distance where the time to travel to his sentry will make it to will be down before he's able to remove it. Now, we got some of the math out of the way, we can talk about another change. Let's be honest, most people want random crits gone from the game, which I'm a part of said party, as I think the game needs to change with modern times. We do not need random crits to get kills anymore. I mean, he's right, you know. We really don't need random crits. I mean, come on. We're big boys with big toys, and we know how to use them, alright? And with Valve taking this point of view into consideration, a no random crits downside will be laughable if they do decide to take in all the feedback and remove them. So my thoughts on how to add another downside to the enforcer is to add a cannot be crit boosted. Because let's be honest, if you can Kritzkrieg boost an enforcer, it will be an absolute terror for vac medics and others using resistance items. Because the reason why they're using those items is so they don't get killed. And this would definitely make it to where people would just be using the enforcer to crits to deal with a vac medic, which isn't a bad idea, but there's other ways to deal with a vac medic. And I think the flat 60 damage to a vac medic is enough to take him out. I think the flat 60 is more than enough. But hey, again, do not take what I say as gospel, and I hope you don't do the same with other YouTubers. I'm not a game designer from Team Fortress 2. These are just my thoughts. And if any of you have an idea on how they can rework the enforcer, I would absolutely love to read it. And I'm not saying that as a YouTuber, hey kids, why don't you like, comment, subscribe, and leave a comment below. I'm not one of those guys. But again, I am genuinely curious about all points of view. So I would actually genuinely love to see comments about how this weapon could be changed. It's a collective effort. You know, a lot of the best changes in the game can be made by taking in everyone's opinions and, you know, figuring out what is best for the game. Anyway, I thank you for your time, and remember, it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing.
Misty eyes, you are my happy ending. Don't know why I've been playing it coy, pretending at your heart's expense.